Hello there folks, Ferenc on board again, this time with a video again on dream interpretation, which is a topic that I actually like. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Feel free to watch the type of content that I provide, which is usually introspective, and well, I prefer shedding some light in a much deeper level upon different aspects of life, experiencing it, and what I call a journey through consciousness, which is also the title of the video game that I'm working on. Now, I prefer giving, and shedding some light on things at much deeper levels than the typical, surface levels that are depicted in many videos. Now, I'm not claiming that those videos are bad, it's just that I've always been more interested in the deeper layers rather than just, sifting through some surface things that, well, they don't necessarily mean much to me anyways. Okay, surface level is good, but you have to use that only as an initiate level. You have to go deeper if you want to understand something. Now, what does it mean if you dream of snakes in a dream? Now, the dream that's, well, the answer that I provided is, well, a simple one somewhat, okay, based on the few things that I have read and understood about snakes in a dream. I also had a dream with a snake that I found. It was quite small and, its eyes blinked red twice. Now, the dream that I had can be interpreted in many ways, and it can have different meanings, like it can tend towards sexuality because the eyes blinking red, red is the color of Muladhara. It blinked twice, so the angel number 2 might have been transmitted to me. There are many ways of interpreting dreams, and the person asked Tonkuora, what does it mean if I dream of a friendly snake that just want to be with me? Now, this question is a bit fuzzy, and the answer that I gave was just an interpretation that I came up with, and well, felt a bit on, well, what I felt a bit about the person's needs. I have at times this sense that I read more than just a message. At times I just feel a bit of the person, because each and every message is basically memory of the person that is sending it, so it also has some imprint of that specific person. But well, I'm still waking up to this potential. So when a snake comes to you, it can actually be um, it can actually be um, well, interpreted in many ways. Is the snake actually friendly in the dream? Is the snake actually well, dangerous, or well, is it just one or many? Is it day outside? Is it night outside? Keep in mind as many details as you want and interpret on all the details, not just one simple aspect of a dream, even if that seems to be the important one. But at times the important aspect of a dream can actually denote your main reaction, okay, your main feeling towards something, while the environment might actually represent a situation, and the animal or whatever you see in the middle, or the main aspect of focus, is how you react to that, more or less. Now, snakes, as I classify them, okay, so this is a personal classification, and I think it is viable, okay. Snakes are of three types, okay. They are the harmless ones, so the completely harmless ones. They are the venomous ones and the constrictor ones, okay. So depends what type of that is your snake. Now, is the snake that you see actually you, and you see yourself through greater eyes, like you are suddenly your higher self and you see what you do and how you act in life, okay, so it's a outside the box vision upon you. What is that's actually you, but like you get a vision upon you, like how other people see you, okay, so you can also interpret this as well. What if it's a spirit animal, okay, like I think I've seen a spirit crocodile once. It was quite an interesting view, and yeah, it just stood there and it just looked at me, and I think I was given an answer or something like that, because consciously I didn't get any idea. I actually poked at it with my spiritual weapon, and like it actually moved when being poked, but it just stood there. And when I poked it the second time and it still stood there, I just understood that they are not a threat. Okay, because higher beings know that we, being much smaller in awareness, can actually even fight back. Okay, so they either leave, or if they still have to give a message, they know that like fighting back is something that they can expect. But their aura usually is that not necessarily fully soothing, right? But um, it can act in a way that it definitely gives you the impression that, hey, you know what, I'm not here to harm you. If I wanted to do that, maybe I could have. So snakes are a representative of reptiles, and we know reptiles are very durable. They have one of the best immune systems in the world. They are like perfect hunting machines in their own way. They are a symbol of longevity in a way, because why not? And well, they are a sign that you are, or actually let's take it like a reminder that you are a tough spirit. Okay, what you have been through is much tougher than what you expect. This is an interpretation more like of crocodiles. Snakes usually represent being, as of what I feel about them, being sinuous in life. Okay, not being stiff and rigid, because the way snakes move is, they don't have any bone within. Okay, so bones can actually be a syntax, a representative of rigid paradigms. Okay, saying that you're not willing to give up. Okay, so the snake can actually, as I said in the beginning, it could be a new life, and most likely a better life, cuddling around you. Okay, an invitation to do something better. Snakes are also a symbol of wisdom in many cultures. Okay, because snakes can live quite long, and well, they are also a symbol of growth, because they actually physically grow a lot. And they are also a sign that there are things that you should actually give up, because, well, let's say it like this: snakes do shed their skin, and in life we also should be shedding the personas that we create, which means um, well, fake personalities, fake aspects of ourselves, because a persona is nothing else than a mask, than a construct that we develop. Okay, we build from zero, therefore, because develop means to build from zero, and we build these as a response towards different situations. That is why we just keep switching between all our personalities, because, well, multiple personalities is not necessarily something bad. Okay, except the case in which those are very, like, uh, very profound, that can actually say that that body actually has a fight for it in between multiple facets of consciousness that might actually have almost the same strengths. But there can actually be more interpretations to the what we call the disorder of multiple personality. Now, snakes are also okay, about personal development. That is kind of a lie in a way, because you see, it teaches you how to develop your personality, but again, personality is something that you develop anyways. Okay, it is a set of rules and principles that you create in order to experience life. Okay, and it's nothing else than the set of limitations that you impose upon you. Okay, like the swiftest way and shortest way I can say it. Okay, now snakes can also be a sign of malevolence. Okay, and they can be a sign of someone wanting to crawl under your skin. So you have to understand your own truths about these, because, well, in the end, it's nothing else than a personal interpretation. Dreams are bound to the person having them, so you just can't stray away from this meaning. You just have to go deeper inside, and if you forget the dream is, well, most likely you will forget most of it, because once you wake up from that body that you used in the dream, you are no longer connected with that, and kind of nothing in that dream will have much importance to you other than the one you simply put, because you're willing to, even desperately at times, label those things that you have seen in a certain way. So depending on the type of snake, you can actually have a glimpse of what life wants to say. um, if you're a harmless snake, well, most likely your life is calm and tranquil, and you know, there's nothing too much to be afraid of. But at the same time, you can actually see that as a problem because you're not taking things into account, like you're just living life, which can actually be a good thing. But if you have big goals, it could be a reminder that, hey, you know what, um, it could be a reminder that when you interpret things, okay, you might do just that, and most likely you won't work towards anything else, so that can actually be a problem. Now, with snakes, let's not forget that they are tough irrespective of the shape, so even if you are theoretically a harmless snake, it means that you're also not doing anything to others, so basically you're not harming others because you're not a venomous or constrictor snake, okay? You're not choking others, you're not doing other things, right? You're not manifesting in a harmful way to others, okay? If you are a venomous snake, it can actually mean precision, okay? Because it can actually show that you might be toxic to some other people, but I doubt that is the main focus of some dreams. But because if that is your life purpose, to teach others on how to understand what negativity is, because all the people who manifest in bad ways are nothing else than teachers that other spirits have chosen to experience through, okay? Like some people, many spirits want to experience abuse and what each and every one of these is like in this world, because they don't have a body to experience it here, so they need to go through the processes of getting born, and they need that for the wisdom of their existence. So a venomous snake, as I see, is a representative of precision, because they are very fast and precise, which shows that most likely you're doing things in your dream, actually in your life, that they have the enough precision for yourself, and what you're doing is the best that you can do at the right time, okay? So don't pull yourself down too much. The venom can actually mean that you're kind of toxic to yourself in a way, because while snakes are immune to their own venom, most likely you may not be to your own venom, so there is also a dose of pain that you are inflicting on yourself, okay? Just like the snake, which is the symbol of predators, okay, you're probably too focused on something, okay, and you're kind of disregarding other people or things in your life, okay? Being too focused on something, again, is not necessarily good, but it can actually be very good if you have the right people to bring you back down to earth and remind you, hey, you also have these things that you have to focus on. That is why highly successful people also have other people to keep them accountable for other things in life that they might not be fully interested in doing or they are lower priorities, okay? So snake can also be a sign of deception, yes, because it can actually be a sign of the personas that you have been creating, and a sign that you should do well to release those, because they're not important. Every time you take up a persona, you don't see life as it is. You create more and more room for interpretation. When you create a persona, it's like looking through a magnifying glass. Yes, you most likely or might actually see something better, but what you see there is probably nothing else than, and most likely nothing else than, constructs that you are building. And you have a much greater focus on those because you are creating those lies for yourself. But just like that, when you look through a magnifying glass, right, you don't see anything else. You just see that thing, right? Just like looking through the scope of a sniper rifle, right? When you look through the scope, you see clearly a certain thing, but that might not necessarily be real, just like this life isn't real, okay? And you don't see anything else, okay? So you just see something better, which is not even 1% of life in its totality, and everything else you disregard and ignore even more powerfully, okay? So it's time probably that you deceive some of these personas that you have created and shed them, just like the snake sheds their own skin. And well, it can be representative of people wanting to crawl under your skin. This might be represented by constrictor snakes, okay? This might be signs of problems that are choking you, not letting you want to live. Okay, the snake is somewhat connected, especially cobras, with the Vishuddha, okay, the fifth chakra, the chakra of sound, the chakra of speech. And when you see constrictor snakes, it might be a sign that you're either choking other people, or most likely some other people are choking you. Okay, now with this coronavirus thingy, many people are forced to wear a mask, which is a symbol of being muted. Your voice is suddenly muted, because if I can't see your mouth speaking, how can I be sure that you are the one speaking in a crowd full of people who have masks? Just because I can hear your voice, it doesn't mean that you're the one actually speaking. It can be my mind going cuckoo. So cobras are also drawn to the Vishuddha. That is why you see a lot of cartoons, movies, and that thing which is actually real, that there are those people who play the flute, and the cobras around them are simply mesmerized because they are very drawn to Vishuddha energy. They're not drawn by the flute necessarily, they're drawn by the energy that that person is putting out through their Vishuddha. So if you see constrictor snakes, it might be a sign that you're a bit too vocal, or you might actually need to become even more vocal, because constrictor snakes usually are heavy, and you actually need that muscle. Okay, you need to muscle up your voice, right? You need to make your voice better heard. Probably you're in a position in which your voice actually matters, but you're trying to suppress it, right? You're giving it to the snake to choke. Most likely this can actually be an interpretation, right? So there are multiple interpretations as to why you see a snake, and I do invite you to dive deeper into this and experience more. Hopefully this brought in some understanding upon this. Okay, and well, until next time, do love yourselves more, become more introspective. As usual, remember, you are loved and appreciated. Whatever you are doing is the best you can at the right pace for you. Okay, so until next time, peace and love and hugs. Okay, take more care of yourself, stay safe, and well, Ferenc on board signing out.